For a great afternoon of
A little
sports
nasally.
entertainment talk.
Or is it just in your headset?
In-depth discussions
Could be.
on
You
everything
sound
from
scratchy.
sports to the
Like you're
field.
coming from
Yeah.
down here.
That could be.
Sports world.
Normally when I
Whether it's
come,
the
it's
latest
like just right out in
blockbuster
front. But
Yeah,
the
all over the
societal
place.
impact of sports.
You can
Those
certainly
sprinklers
hear it coming.
like that.
With your hosts, Van Nunley and Fred Sloan.
Get my dong in your ear.
Producer
You
Isaiah
can hear me
Johnson
coming.
On 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Use that line whenever you want, Zay.
Are we live?
It's Tuesday, Albuquerque. You know what that means? That means the boys are at Rio Bravo Brewery. We're about to have them tacos.
Yeah, baby. I'm starting early today. I'm not waiting for teller hour. I already got a Mexican lager, and I already ordered 2 fried avocado tacos. Let's go.
Steve Palmisano has chosen to leave the Duke store. He joins us here at Rio Bravo Brewery.
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
What's it like being out the confines of the Duke store?
It's good.
Yeah.
Get to see the sun,
What was that like? Kind of crazy change. for you?
fresh air. I was hoping to come down and do 3 hours of Dallas Cowboy radio with you.
Do you feel like you've been exonerated? Is this like a January 6th thing? Do
You
feel
can
like-
you can do an hour and a half with us.
Hour and a half in Dallas.
That's all we got today, brother.
Okay, let's do it.
Sorry.
Lobo Lady Lobo basketball, something tonight. Get ready for that. Isaiah Johnson is back at the studio. Isaiah.
Hello. And yes, women's basketball on at 5:30.
Oh, who knew?
Oh, yeah.
Have you guys tried this new Rio Bravo Gulf of America lager? It's really good.
You want to lead with executive orders, or do you want to leave with the Billionaire Boys Club?
We only got an hour and a half, so we probably shouldn't do political talk.
So, you don't want to.
all day.
You don't want to talk.
Can't do it all
about how-
day.
Took longer than an hour and a half to sign them all.
And
Yeah.
then the president of TikTok, he was there too. And then he was hanging out with the ghost of Tim Cook. And then Mark Zuckerberg, who you know from the social network, he was looking at this girl's boobs. And then she was only wearing underwears underneath her suit. And then after that, Theo Vaughn, his chair broke. And then after his chair broke, no one knew what to do. So Donald Trump, he didn't touch the Bible. And then it's like if a child was telling you about the inauguration.
The knockers out bra ladies from Albuquerque.
That is correct.
Yeah.
I heard about who you're talking about. I didn't realize she was from Albuquerque.
Sure is. Yeah.
I think she went to like Sandia. She was trying to peddle her children's book or something over there. This is real.
Yeah.
Like she got a good seat.
And then what he decided to do is he's going to change the name of an ocean. And then that's what this was yesterday. It was if a 3-year-old child.
You mean today, all morning?
Yes.
Yeah. All morning. Yeah.
It was like if Ralph Wiggum was telling you what happened at school that day. That's what yesterday was.
So if you have any family members with type 1 diabetes, not like the type 2 that Fred had/has,
Okay.
they're in big trouble.
Yeah.
They're in big trouble. Start your GoFundMes now for all of your medications that are going to go up 4,000%.
That's wild.
It's crazy.
And then, for like basically no reason, we just quit the World Health Organization. And you would, if a child was saying this to you, you would call that child a liar.
Yeah.
You would say this is a liar's day. You're being a liar.
Sure. Which children do often.
And then, because there was a historic vibe shift.
Historic vibe shift. What is that? What part was that?
They blocked all my favorite hashtags on Twitter. What? This is real. So I'm not even joking, but at the end, he did he pounded on his chest and then he saluted like a Nazi.
Okay, well that's
like this is all real stuff.
Hey, little complainy baby. What you're saying is true.
Everything I said was true. Every single thing that I just said was true. But I did it with the voice of a lying child.
Yeah, but it's what you might refer to as real life kind of stuff that really happened today.
And then he was standing right next to the guy that he just replaced, and he told you how for the last 4 years that guy sucks, and that you sucked because you were a fan of his, and we're saved. That's what this was yesterday for 24 straight hours, continuing into this morning.
Look, if the first administration was any example, he's going to work really hard for 3 days, and then it's time to golf, and then he's going to hand it over to a ragtag bunch of misfits to try to not blow this whole thing up. I am a glass half full kind of guy.
Okay.
I think logic will prevail, reason will prevail. The adults in the room will be the most heard voices. Kindness will prevail. Humanity will prevail. But oh, buddy, are we off to a bad start?
And then his wife.
Oh, here we go.
She dressed like she was a villain in Star Wars, and she kept her eyes shadowed the whole time.
We talk about Darth Melania.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
And then,
Darth Carmen San Diego. Is that who we're talking about?
You might not remember, but for like 4 years, they were saying it was anti-fascist and it was Antifa, and they were the ones at January 6th. But no, not yesterday. They changed their mind.
Thanks for letting all those Antifa guys out of prison. Good job.
Oh my God, dude. One day. It was up to Hillary. She would have renamed it the Gulf of Giggles because she just giggled the whole time. This is
I don't
it,
think she
Steve.
knew what was going on. I was watching her.
Yeah, there you go, Steve.
Nice.
She wasn't. She giggled about everything.
So then they went to
It's like, where are we?
Capital One Arena, and there, 20,000 of Donald Trump's closest friends, they put a sticker on a desk. So that was the new president's desk, and he signed into office for actions. And those actions, the 14th Amendment is not real. These are all things that happened. If you were born in the United States, you're no longer a citizen.
That to me,
What is going on?
reversing all the caps on prescription medication, that was a bad one. But trying to end birthright citizenship, it's like, okay.
Because
Didn't all those things that have to be approved by Congress?
that is correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then because there are all these factories where immigrants, they move, they take a vacation here, and then they have a babers here, and then they become locked into our country. I know this. My uncle told me. Oh my God, dude. So there you go. Tariffs. Was that a pretty good recap, Isaiah, from your day over at KKOB?
Yeah. That's pretty accurate.
And
Very useful.
What about when he had the sword out and he was going to cut that plain cake or whatever?
I don't know if that's real or not, but I'm into that.
I saw that.
He wielded a sword today
he
as
was
well.
dancing- No, yesterday.
Oh,
He was dancing to the YMCA.
with a sword. Oh God, there's so much crazy stuff. I missed that.
What about
Yeah,
the
it was
part?
That's the one I
And
missed.
the best part is when you watch the video, there's a guy in uniform sitting off. He's like in and out of camera on the very edge of it,
Mhm.
and his eyes are like darted towards him. And he looked forward, and then he looked side to him. He's like watching him. So that was the best part of it.
Okay, I'm
I
gonna
was like,
guess
looking
what
at
I'm
him
doing
like,
on the commercial break.
Is this guy for real? Yeah.
I didn't know China had invaded Panama
Yeah.
until yesterday.
Yeah.
Mhm.
China,
Oh yeah.
through their military force, took the Panama Canal.
No, they didn't.
That's what Donald Trump said.
No.
I saw it.
Wait till you hear about all these Russian spies, all 37,000 of them hiding in Greenland right now that we're going to take over for the safety of our country.
What do you think that if they get the Panama Canal back, what do you think he's going to rename it to?
Baron.
Canal of the Americas.
Well, that's a good one.
Panama. Yeah. I don't-
The
maybe
Americaneum.
put David Lee.
Is that a good one?
Did you like that one?
I didn't hear it. I was making my own joke.
So then, because people thought he had too many performers of color, they brought in Carrie Underwood. Like, this
God,
is
thank God
real.
for her, man.
Yeah.
To balance it out.
If who else would have sang it a cappella
And then she
if
said,
not her?
"Oh," and then she said, I couldn't have done this 8 years ago with the political climate." Like, what? What? You couldn't perform for the sitting president?
Speaking of climate, it's out the window.
Socially engineered race is the worst one.
She pulled it off though. Got
Said Donald
Okay, what else did I miss?
Said
There's so much. There's so much I missed.
Where were you?
Isaiah,
Doing stuff in my real life.
whenever I
What else?
I don't
You've
have.
done.
There's not enough hours in the day. to consume all of this insanity of the last 36 hours.
I drank it in all day yesterday, and then I drank all night yesterday.
Yeah.
Isaiah, when Donald Trump said, quote, forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based, how did that make you feel?
It's the first time I'm hearing that quote, actually. It sounds nice.
Yep.
It sounds nice. You know, here's the thing with Trump. If he just one time, because you got your there's a huge variety of Donald Trump supporters, right? Like I feel like you got some who are, you know, maybe they just like his policies, but then you got the other ones that are way off the rails. If he just one time would just address that group of his fans or followers, cult members, whatever you want to call it,
Yep.
say, hey, as far as the people who are doing all the malicious stuff, I don't condone that. If he could just do that one time, it would just make so many things about this whole process smoother. But it's like you have to worry about the crazy ones. You got to worry about the ones who are going to go do things just because he's the president and they don't think there's going to be any repercussions.
Possibly the 1,500 of the ones they just released from prison.
And he released them all, and only six of them maintain their felony record. Did you hear the number I said?
They'll commit more felonies. Come on.
What are you talking about? Yeah, they're not all pardons, though. They almost all were, except for six.
Oh, the 6 family members.
Which
I don't know what you're
you're talking about Biden's pardons. I see. My mistake. I thought we were talking about Trump's pardons.
Look, they're coming back. Once you get a taste, like a little taste of felonious behavior, you can't just quit.
Right.
You like a crack fiend. You gotta just
gateway crime.
Feel that rush of felonious behavior.
So there you go. Big day yesterday.
And today.
Huge day.
And tomorrow.
Capped off by 3-on-3 women's basketball.
Oh, that's still legal?
My mist. Yeah, for another day. My mist took a bad beating last night. It's a bummer.
When we get back from the break,
Mm-hmm.
Van called it on the national championship game. Kudos to he.
You're welcome.
As it disappointed all, I believe.
Yeah.
2 minutes
Also,
on.
Robert's on the line after the break.
Will you let Robert know that we're going to lead with Natty Champy talk? Now, if he is interested in having another conversation, it will need to wait until the 4:30 block.
Okay. Noted.
2 minutes on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report brought.
Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to 2 Men On, where a friend of the show, Robert, is with us on the friend of the show, Sports Animal, Isaiah Johnson hotline. Wait, he hung up.
So Robert wasn't going to talk about the Natty, so he's going to call back at 4:30.
Okay.
What do you think he was going to talk about Monday
I
Night
wonder.
Raw? Monday Night Raw.
I don't know.
We can't go politics.
How did the next Monday Night Raw go?
What do you mean the next? You mean the last?
The previous one was last night, correct?
Yeah.
You start airing that at Howie's Sports page on Mondays.
I used to do Monday Night Raw watch parties.
Mhm.
They were fun. We had a Fantasy Wrestling League where you did fantasy pro wrestling.
Okay. Go on.
So you would select pro wrestlers, and there was a point-based system on their matches, and it created a really intense environment. Also, all the drinks had clever wrestling names.
All right. That sounds fun. I'm in.
Okay. It was super fun.
Yeah.
Steve Palmisano was with us. Steve, welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
Steve, you watched the national championship
I did.
because you were trying to fall asleep early last night.
I liked it. I like both teams. I like both coaches. I like both teams. They seem to be good.
Both of them were good.
Good. Yeah.
What office you running
That's
for
good.
now, Steve? What office in Switzerland are you running
I
for?
was pulling for Notre Dame.
Yeah, everyone pulls for the energy.
Yeah, I
But
think
then I
everyone
was kinda-
not
I
from
liked the
Ohio.
quarterback from Ohio, but then they showed LeBron, and I was like, oh, I can't pull for them.
Oh, that guy from Ohio.
Yeah, he was trying to get the crowd to do the OHIO
Mhm.
cheer
Right.
or something.
Worked for us at Howie's last night. We
Yeah,
got one going.
Nobody was doing it with him.
That's a bummer.
They didn't. I don't think. they
Also,
knew
he had
who was.
He had an Ohio State hat that had like all the Buckeyes on the back of it,
I saw that.
like on the back of a helmet at the end of the season when they get all their little sticker awards.
They're called cues.
What did he get? What did he do to deserve all those stickers? Is my question. LeBron James.
He didn't do anything.
Awards.
Okay.
Was it an actual helmet or a hat?
It was a hat in the style of a Buckeyes
Oh,
helmet,
he probably just
and it
bought
had all the Buckeyes stickers all over the back
They'd
of it.
probably sell that.
I bet it's 1-1.
Made exclusively for him.
7 5/8.
Head
Big old-
size.
big old
Is that
head.
his head size?
I'm assuming.
Yeah. Is that the biggest one?
No,
No,
8.
8
8 on the dot.
8 and a
No,
quarter.
they
No.
can go up to 8 1/4. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they make them bigger.
Custom.
That's what I'm saying. It's 1-1. I just said that. He doesn't have a lot of hair though.
Sure he does.
Yeah, it all came.
It's not
back
his,
somehow.
but he's got a bunch of it.
Ohio State becomes the first team in college football history to defeat 6 of the top 10 teams in the final AP poll. They beat Indiana, who ended up number 10. That was a nice gift for them.
Yeah, but they play 20 games now. It's not as impressive.
Tennessee, Penn State, Texas, Oregon, and Notre Dame. That's wild.
Good season.
It wasn't as close as the score said.
The season is still a loss for Ohio State Buckeyes fan because they lost to Michigan. Like, they don't care about the national championship. They want to beat Michigan.
That's when they.
Yeah, there was a poll, and 52% of Ohio State fans said they'd rather beat Michigan than win the Natty. And this was like this morning.
52.
52% said they would rather beat Michigan than win the Natty. So I said, okay, so either A, it's personal, or B, you have the wrong priorities as a fan. It's got to be one of the two. Like the Natty, you're basically, in a way, you're beating every team in the FBS, including Michigan.
6 of the top 10.
That's a good way to look at it, Zay.
Yeah, but years from now they'll say they won that year. Oh, but they lost to Michigan.
For the history of the world, that's a talking point. Yeah. Any Cougars?
So, you were going to sell someone to be punched, gloat about it.
Mm-hmm.
Ohio State Martin Luther King Day prevent the first black head coach from winning a national championship. It's an important thing to Ohio.
I mean, take the pulse of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Yeah.
When they win the Natty, it'll be like, but we lost to MSU.
Which sport?
Basketball.
Okay.
Sorry, jumped over.
They're going to win the Natty in basketball.
Yeah.
The Lobos.
I think they're on their way.
Because of
They're
the
8-1.
the stiff competition of Fresno.
Yeah, they
State.
won by like 40 last night. Like they're best
30.
team in the country
It's like midday.
for a game.
30. Anytime you win a game midday by 30, you're playing pretty well.
Yeah, I know. You don't even get a full night's sleep.
They still got a full night's sleep. They
There's
didn't.
no way.
It's not like they were playing midday in Hawaii.
Where were they?
I believe it
the
was at the pit.
Oh, Albuquerque, New Mexico? Okay. Maybe.
Wonder if they had the inauguration going on in the big screen up there during the game. Probably not.
We're wearing a lot of red in the pit.
Were they?
Yeah.
It's their colors.
Oh, dang. That makes more sense.
There's a group of fans that come to Duke City Championship Wrestling that we call homies, and they wear "Make Lobos Great Again" hats, and they're red.
Yeah. Well, this is their year.
Those guys?
They're going to win the Natty, but we lost to New Mexico State.
I'm in.
It's one of those.
There's a big difference.
Hey,
in
throw
Michigan,
throw
Ohio
that throw
State.
that upstart New Mexico State Aggie basketball program a bone, you know? They're only like 1 year old.
Right.
It's a brand new program.
It's not though.
You didn't like the football game?
I mean, it's just boring. It was like Michigan, hold the ball, hold the ball, hold the ball. Cool, they scored.
Who?
Excuse me, Notre Dame. And then Ohio State goes, yeah, but that's fine. We're just gonna,
Yeah, we'll just score every time.
We'll score every
It's so much easier if we just score every time.
yeah.
You take all the time you want, guys. We're just going to score every time.
William Howard said, I got it.
Yeah.
I know you guys got a plan or whatever, but I have Ryan Day.
We're gonna run it and make you guys use your timeouts and then throw deep on third down like it's nothing.
They had zero fear of the Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Every single position on the football field, both sides of the ball, and I'm assuming special teams, Ohio State had the better player. They only ended up losing, 11? Only ended up losing by 11? That's a miracle. And it was all garbage time points in the fourth quarter.
It was over in the first quarter.
I would say second, but yeah.
After Notre Dame didn't score on the second possession,
Yeah,
that's when it was over. Like, the pace didn't work anymore.
sure.
They had opportunities, though. I mean, Ohio State, for the most part, Notre Dame stopped them in the second half. They just didn't score. Like, both defenses just locked in.
When they were up 30, they put in their scrubs.
That's not.
They're like, they put in the kids who get to play next year.
They made it a game at the end there. There was an opportunity for them. But
Yeah, Notre Dame had a chance. I mean, down 31-15. That's especially in college football. Like that's a winnable game. That's like equivalent to being down one touchdown in the NFL. Because in college, there's just the craziest comebacks in college.
Yeah, not when you're playing Ohio State, the
Yeah.
most stacked roster in the country.
they lost to Michigan this year.
I heard. Yeah.
Can we talk about the real nuisance that was last night? So the first quarter went so fast. Notre Dame just kept running it the other day. There was 4.5 minutes of commercials in the first quarter. The second quarter,
Wasn't that sweet?
17.5 minutes of commercials. Halftime commercials, 13.5 minutes. Third quarter commercials, 10 minutes. Fourth quarter commercials, 13 minutes. Total commercial time, 58 minutes, 42 seconds.
Which is a record. Yeah. Thank you, Notre Dame, for your first quarter. We saw a glimpse of hope what football watching on television could possibly be.
Just wild. Here's the non-commercial time in the first quarter was 20 minutes. Non-commercial time in the second quarter was 38 minutes. I mean, it goes on and on and on. It was so much. Hey, we're watching at Howie's, which is fun.
Yeah. But
you weren't watching the TV for more of the time than you were watching the TV. This is not how I want to watch my sports. I don't care about Marshawn Lynch commercials.
You watch your mouth. He's a national treasure.
I wonder how they.
cool.
I wonder how they
Marshawn Lynch,
set-
the next
sell
Snoop
the
Dogg.
ads for those games like that, not knowing how much commercial time there's really going to be.
So they're waiting.
Unless they. Go ahead.
Yeah. So like AT&T had 6 or 7 commercials last night, right? So they know they get 3 in the first half, 3 in the second half, and they have to get them at their price point, so they load them all in the beginnings, and then it goes all the way down. So they're sold in like packages like that.
Gotcha.
But also that's why you can extend TV timeouts. So what's like a good example?
There was a time where we were sitting there. It was like, how much time in between each play do they get?
Mm-hmm.
It seemed like they were just hanging out there, and the clock. What is the actual time in between? 5 seconds.
So it depends.
Yeah.
It starts after that. I mean, I don't know. This is like, is if the long camp has to-
Not anymore. It's not.
Just
Now it's man packs.
There you go.
Little side note:
Thanks.
Ishiro Suzuki, CC Sabathia, and Billy Wagner voted into the Baseball Hall of Fame. Suzuki 1 vote shy of unanimous selection.
Free Billy Wagner. It finally happened. Too long. Overdue. Overdue. Can we get a name of the guy who didn't vote for Ichiro? Because he should have been unanimous. That is so stupid.
Yeah, so he was 1 vote shy.
I only thought Ichiro was going to get in.
isn't that like how long have they had the Hall of Fame?
Forever, ever. It started in 1965. Is that the
It's like
first year?
Yeah, it's like the
Take your time.
56th year in a row that a Yankee's
Oh,
been
gosh.
voted in.
1936.
Oh, longer than that. Yeah.
Yeah, because the inaugural class was like a ton of people.
So the streak remains that each year a Yankee gets in.
Well, 3 of them got in. Didn't all these guys play for the Yankees?
Ichiro didn't.
Yes, he did.
Did he?
I'm pretty sure Billy Wagner was only Astros and Mets. Is that correct?
Like I just
Billy Wagner not getting in the second year is an insult to
Yeah.
baseball
I'm
knowledge.
sorry, he did.
yeah. I thought Billy Wagner played for the Yankees, so I don't know. Are you now having flashbacks of Ichiro in a Yankees
Yeah,
uniform?
when you said it, it popped in my head. I was like, oh, I think I've seen that.
Billy Wagner played for the Mets. That's why I
Yeah.
decided this.
Astros and Mets.
Okay. Good for him. Not good enough to be there.
He's the second best reliever in the history of baseball. Definitely doesn't be there. Mariano Rivera than Billy Wagner too.
I
Friend of the show, Lenny.
I'm about to tell you that Trevor Hoffman is the second best reliever of all time. I would tell you exactly.
Stats don't prove that.
Friend of the show, Lenny, welcome.
You guys there?
Yep.
Welcome.
Hey, welcome. No, Hoffman was good, but when you have 400 saves, and when you were pitching through all of the steroid era,
Hard agree.
but there's one voter who refuses to go and be unanimous. How many Hall of Famers have gone with every single vote? Even Maddox didn't even get in unanimously.
Jeter got in unanimously.
Yeah, but I mean,
That's 'cause he gave 'em
overall,
gift
how many have
baskets.
gotten unanimously? So, I mean, it could have us. I mean, we could have Kurt Schilling got it voted in.
I mean, that's not going to happen.
For
No,
reason.
anyway, so sorry you guys haven't called in a while, but let's have some fun with football. And Buffalo, the way out of the Super Bowl.
I'm in on this.
Kansas City makes it by 6.
By Kansas City's doing or the refs doing? Who wins this game? The Chiefs or the NFL?
Both.
Oh, okay.
They want to see Taylor Swift in the Super Bowl, but I'll go 24-17. Low-scoring game. And then on the other side, the upset of upsets, Jalen Hurts will use his knee as an excuse, and Jaden Daniels will ascend to the top and go to the Super Bowl.
Washington plus 6.5 is like my favorite bet of the entire football season. It's a lock.
But I at 24-20.
Lenny, I love this call, but your phone is struggling. I want to hear more about your football, but let's do it closer to the weekend. You are the absolute man.
Thanks. You guys have a good one.
This phone is
Thanks, Lenny.
fucking- I mean, just got to give him Sprint or something. For the record, I didn't want to say this while Lenny was on the phone. Derek Jeter not unanimous into the Hall of Fame. I just want to be very clear on that, Steve.
He is in my mind.
Okay.
Thanks.
One player ever in the history of baseball, and it was Mariano Rivera. That is it. Outside of that 1930 whatever class,
Right.
where those 15 dudes went in all at once, and I think they were all Yankees.
Yeah.
Ken Griffey Jr., all but 3 votes. Tom Severs, all but 5 votes. Nolan Ryan, all but 6 votes. Cal Ripken Jr., all but 11 votes. Fall from there. But 1936, but 4. So
Just the anti-murder vote. Having nothing to do with results on the field.
Aaron didn't even get. Yeah, like you. There you go. You throw.
The reliever, Mariano Rivera. In his defense, he's the best to ever do it. He should be unanimous. So should Derek. So should Tom Severs. Nolan Ryan. Cal Ripken Jr. Cal Ripken Jr. not being unanimous. It is dumb.
When we get back from the break, I'm sure into the show. Calls 2 minutes on 95.9 FM and AM 610. Woo, Sports Animal.
The Ultimate AutoZone. Get in the zone. Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and
3. Okay.
I think all three of these deserve, and I've been very adamant. Baseball loving friends of the show know for years I've been upset that Billy Wagner hasn't been a Hall of Famer for the last few votes. Very well deserved. Ichiro, obvious, a legend in the game of baseball. CC Sabathia, like Charles Sabathia, was never like the best pitcher in baseball, but he was like a top 5 guy for so long. And he had the benefit of being a New York Yankee. That helps a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get a lot of eyes, get a lot of primetime games. The real story, though, is 1 vote short of unanimous election for Ichiro. Like, that's the real story. And the conversation, I think, for a long time was, King Griffey Jr. didn't.
Right. Who is baseball to me?
Yeah.
30, 40, 50, high 30, low 40s career, somewhere in that area. King Griffey Jr. was baseball to you.
Mm-hmm. Derek Jeter, not 100%.
Wild.
And Ichiro, who I guess just also wasn't 100% in Japan the other day, which is wild.
So dumb.
And you don't have to disclose your power. Like, you don't have to.
Yeah, the people, whoever didn't vote for Ichiro, their name should be out there. Like, we should know who had the audacity not to do that.
Well, and that person wants attention. Like, and they'll be the one to say it. I tell you what, if I'm a writer in ballot, that is, in order to get a vote, you have to cover the team for 10 years. The beat writer, there's always weird qualifications for it. For instance, Bob Costas doesn't get a vote.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me. But some of those weirdos you see on talking head shows on ESPN, they do. But whenever this writer comes out and says, hey, it was me all along.
Right.
If I'm also a writer, I'm going to say, no, it was me.
Own it.
No, well, I'm not going to let him own it. I'm going to call them a liar. You don't get the shine, kid. Like, your idiot behind, you don't get it. I'm claiming it was me then. Like, forever living, you don't get what you want.
Like, we rattled off like the top 10 highest percentage vote getters, and everyone on that list should have been unanimous. Mariano Rivera, like if Jeter isn't unanimous, if Griffey, Cal Ripken Jr. isn't unanimous, if put your legendary MLB player, if those guys aren't unanimous, then neither should Mariano Rivera, who is easily the best reliever of all time. Why him and not Ichiro? Why him and not Jeter? Why him and not Griffey Jr.? It makes zero sense.
Makes zero sense. Some guys fell off. This is not the biggest conversation to me. Guys that don't get in, they don't get in. It's the Hall of Very Famous. It's not the Hall of Very Good at baseball.
Carlos Beltran was the closest, missed by 19 votes. I think he should be in. Andrew Jones, next on the list, he should be in. Then after that, it's all debatable.
You think Andrew Jones?
Yes. Absolutely.
What did he do?
Won a Gold Glove every single year of his career.
Lots of guys do that.
Home runs, stolen bases, world championships. He's the best defensive center fielder in the history of baseball.
No.
Yes. Easily yes.
You accidentally said Andrew Jones, not Jim Edmonds?
Yeah. See, that's your St. Louis slant there.
Jimmy Edmonds out there, though.
10-time Gold Glove winner, 5-time All-Star, 05 Major League Player of the Year by Sports Writers, Hank Aaron Award, Silver Slugger. That's a Hall of Fame career.
The Hall of Fame is a weird one because Baseball Writers Association America, they can vote you in up to 15 years after you retire. There's an eras committee.
Yeah.
I think Taylor Swift runs it. And
Mhm.
they can kind of put you in wherever they want.
Andrew Jones, 434 home runs. That's more than I thought there would be.
That's way more than I thought there would be.
Yeah.
When we get back from the break, we wrap up our one. AM 610, the sports animal.
Staples stores, your local Staples has hot deals and small prices to run.
and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Brian Weems is the new head coach of the New Mexico Runners. He will join us at 5 o'clock. We are excited about that. Talk about the world of arena soccer and what is going on over there. I believe Andres Trujillo is going to join him as well. He is the owner, and never met anyone who loves a microphone more.
Yeah, good luck getting him here on time. We'll see.
That's going to be a whole thing.
Jury's out.
That'll be at 5 o'clock. We're wrapping up our 4 o'clock hour. A lot going on in the world of sports, specifically yesterday. Natty Championship in the books. Van, you have to tweak the college football playoff, or you think this is as good as it gets?
The conference champion seeding is dumb.
Okay.
So the 1 through 4 this year, besides Oregon, who deserve to be number 1, the 2, 3, 4s immediately lost to the 5, 6, 7, 8s. So the way it's seeded now, the best team in the country isn't 1 through 4. The best team in the country is somewhere in the 5 to 8 region, and we obviously saw that in the first incantation of the college football playoff this year.
Did the best team win the national championship?
Yes, they did.
I mean,
they actually the best team ended up winning. I don't think the second best team ended up in the championship game, as the logical part of my brain was like, Ohio State is better in every single position on the field. They will win easily. But the whole country's heart was rooting for Notre Dame to get lucky, get that luck of the Irish and pull one out.
You want to talk about tweaks? Cool. Tweak the format. I am appreciative that it all happened on the field. It wasn't like back room, boardroom, computer claiming, analytics, push it. This was the deal.
The AP chose this guy. The coaches chose this guy. We'll never have a true national champion. Like, those days are long gone. But yeah, after 3 rounds of a college football playoff, Ohio State was the best team. The best team won. So despite the seeding problems, good job.
When we get back from the break, new head coach of the New Mexico Runners, Brian Weems, joins us. We're going to talk to about, what hopefully is a resurgence of the Runners. It's been a tough start to the season.
Yep.
It's tuning on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to 2 Men On. We're live at Rio Bravo Brewery. And joining us is Andres Trujillo. He is the owner of the New Mexico Runners. And he is with Brian Weems, who today became the second coach. Is that correct? In Runners history?
Second coach of New Mexico Runners history.
Brian, welcome to the program, friend.
Thanks for having me.
All right, we're excited. Pull that microphone right up in front of your face. I know you like drinking water. All right.
Sounds good. There we go. Much better.
All right, so I'm assuming that you are just shot, though, in the voice because you must have answered a million phone calls over the last couple of days, right?
Yeah, a lot of it was like, why are you going to quit your day job? And I said, no, I'm not going to quit my day job as a teacher and a coach.
Yeah.
First of all, I love it at Rio Grande High School. We built something really, really promising there. We won a district title for the first time in school history.
Let's go.
Man, it was fantastic. We got to the quarterfinals, which is the furthest they've ever gone in school history. So we had a great year.
Congrats.
I just love coaching and teaching. I'll be doing that for probably the next 10, 15 years. But you know, this is the second challenge of my life. So no, it's been a whirlwind. It's been fun today. Andres has done a good job of bringing me in, and a lot more to come.
There was a press conference today over at High Noon. We do have some audio from that, which we are not going to play right now because we have you guys here. But it's a thing that we possess. But no, it went well, right? So the team was excited. Like, talk to us a little bit about vibes. We don't necessarily have to talk about the changing in the guard from the ownership position, but let's talk about the changing in the guard from the player position, right? Like, how excited are these guys to get under a new style and play the game?
You know, I think the whole thing is that, right? I mean, unfortunately, you know, we haven't had the best of record in the past few seasons, and I think it's been about 15 games since we've actually won a game.
That's too many.
And it's too many, unfortunately. And so, you know, with all chapters ending and new chapters beginning, there's excitement there. Mm-hmm. And I think no matter where you look from it, which standpoint you look at it, from a fan perspective, from a player perspective, from an organization perspective, at the end of the day, when you flip that page and move on to the next chapter, people are jazzed, man. I'm getting calls left and right. I think a lot of people on social media are jazzed about it, so much so that people are already throwing out all kinds of media buzz out there in the Twitter sphere, if you will. And so we're riding the lightning. So, but yeah, and I mean, real quickly, before I let Coach Weems kind of dive into it, but from my perspective as the ownership, I you know, seeing the practices that Coach Weems has been a part of thus far, you see a different vibe with the players. Mm-hmm. That is key. You know, mentally you see this change. You're starting to see this change because they're excited. They're excited for that direction. And I think this is what Coach Williams and I talked about all last week and putting things together to move things forward. This is good stuff. So I'll let Coach Weems kind of dive into it.
Brian Weems is with us. He is the head coach of the New Mexico Runners as of 5 hours ago.
I appreciate it, everyone. The players' perspective, you know, I think they needed some push. They needed someone with energy, someone who will push them to the point where they want to maximize their ability to play. And if you maximize these players' ability to play, we're going to start winning. And that's the biggest thing is that I don't think they were playing it to their maximum potential. We had 25 guys this morning. We did a lot of conditioning, a lot of good drills.
Oh, nice.
And I think they already bought in. They know how hard it takes to be a professional soccer player. And we've had some really, really good sessions. So we have good two captains, Nick and Froy, and Froy's been around since day one, right, Coach?
Since the second season, I want to say. I believe second season, yeah.
And we've had some veterans and got a lot of guys who had college experience. I've had college experience playing, so I think they understand that. And they know I'm bought in, so I believe the reception's been good so far.
Doing a little update on the live stream. Looks like one little troubleshoot that we will fix, which we are currently fixing. Isn't it funny how that works out sometimes?
Working while you're working.
Hey, that's the day. I mean, that's the world of. There we go. Thank you, Isaiah. Brian
Andres Trujillo, owner operator of New Mexico Runners, got one for you real quick before we keep picking Brian's brain.
Because we're back from the technical disc, Brian Weems is with us. He's the new head coach of the Runners as well.
Andres, Brian's got the resume, he's got the experience, he's got a history of success doing what he's doing. Mm-hmm. But I didn't get a single email, I didn't get a single phone call from you so I could put in an application. I could get an interview. We could have had a cool, fun, like Ted Lasso thing kind of going on, man. Why did you choose the guy with all this like experience and talent?
Hey, just so you know, I love competition. So,
I
mean, come on,
battle of coaches, right?
Should have done it, coach.
You know, the thing is that with Brian, when I was kind of trying to figure out what the plan is to move forward, you know, one of the things is I do think we have a lot of great talent on our squad already. It is.
Yes, we do.
And Coach Weems mentioned maximizing that potential. Okay. But I also do believe, as I got my degree in psychology, I also believe that it's a lot of mental work that we need to put in. And what I mean by that is building a culture that our players buy into. And when you got that buy-in, when you change that culture, that it's a positive culture, a developmental culture, as what Coach Weems offers and can do. He's a program builder. Okay. That is where I felt that we needed what I felt we needed the most moving forward, filling the coaching position. Because like I said, talent is there. Now, time to open up that Pandora's box and maximize that potential with our guys.
Coach Brian Weems is with us. He is the new head coach of the New Mexico Runners. You've been coaching soccer for seems like ever, right? Like
I've been in education for 20 years, and this is my 15th year coaching soccer. I took a little hiatus because I was the athletic director at Sandia High School for 6 years prior to going to Rio Grande.
So then in that course, it's been 11-on-11 soccer. It's been traditional outdoor game, and we are talking about the indoor game. We're talking about arena soccer. We're talking about 5-on-5. We're talking about if you're running for 90 seconds, you've run too long. Like it is. Yeah, there's live line changes and fast-paced action. It's a completely different game, Coach.
Completely different. The good news is I've been playing the indoor games since I was 5.
Okay.
I actually coached a couple of high school teams while I was coaching at Sandia. I haven't coached at the professional ranks. The speed is much better, and I've had to learn a lot of tactics in the last week. I mean, a lot of tactical situations, which has been fun for me. But I'm a fast learner. I brought in 4 other coaches to help me out with that situation. You know, we did really well, I believe, at Wichita the first time around. We only had 2 lines at that same time. We only brought 12 guys in. But I love the game because of all the tactic situations that are different. There are so many different plays, different ways to approach the game, different ways to build up, different ways to come back on defense, timeouts. I mean, I am still learning, but I'm a fast learner and I'm ready to go. That's the way it is. I mean, the players are helping me out with the transition, but I'm doing as much film study as I can. Van,
are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Hit me.
Coach Weems already trying to be a player coach.
Funny story about that. We only brought like 11, 12 guys down to the last game, and I was like, Andres, do I have to suit up? I'm 45 years old. Come on, man. He's like, well, we would have to put that in right beforehand. So I was like, oh, phew. I started warming up with the guys. There wasn't enough guys to warm up with, so I started warming up. I was doing good on offense, but defensively, they were killing me pretty bad. So no.
Both of you guys have mentioned a lot of talent on the roster, and a lot of that talent is local talent. Does that like give you like an extra like layer of passion, a little extra jolt of energy when you get to work with some local kids?
Well, I think that's what is key here, right? Our athletes are the stars of this community when it comes to the soccer game.
Yeah,
right? Sure. And our goal as an organization is to elevate that opportunity to get them out there and put them out there and show, you know, we're trying to develop not just soccer with the New Mexico Runners. We're trying to develop the community to look at the positivity and grow what's good in this community. So if you got kids seeing, and which you'll see it after every home game when kids come onto the field to meet the players, get autographs and all that good stuff, it's here to help build the opportunity for these players, these talented athletes, to get on a platform that they can perform and make their community proud.
So an example of that is Michael Wisman. He's a 20-year-old first-year player. In my first game, he scores 3 goals, hat trick at Wichita. He was a star midfielder for Santa Fe High School, who won a championship a couple of years ago.
He's wild fast.
He is wild fast, wild good, and he's a perfect example of what Andres is talking about. Local talent being exposed at the professional indoor arena level, and we're trying to get more kids to buy in and play and represent their town.
Joining us on the program is Brian Weems. He's the new head coach of the New Mexico Runners, alongside owner and friend of the show, Andres Trujillo of the New Mexico Runners. We were talking about the world of indoor soccer. We're talking about arena soccer. It was a season high in goal scored over the weekend for the Runners, which is awesome. Talking about being in the right direction. The Runners' schedule, though, is not easy. There's not another way to say it. You were just at Wichita. It's Wichita again this upcoming weekend. Is that correct?
On Sunday the 26th.
And that's here at the Rio Rancho Events Center.
Yes, sir.
I will be on the broadcast for that. And then it's another one against Wichita. It's the weirdest little schedule I've ever seen. Talk to us a little bit about how these players who are adapting to a new coach are getting real familiar with a steady opponent and now have a chance to get that first dub in like a year, my guys.
Right. Yeah. And like I mentioned earlier, 15 games of a losing streak is not good for any sports team. I mean, that's a season and a half, like if you break it down. And so finding that right direction, finding the way to the solutions to the problem, right? One of the cool things that I really love what Coach Weems has done is he has a coaching staff. And what's really cool about that is this is the first time in New Mexico Runners history we actually have a coaching staff. Coach, goalkeeper coach, defensive coach. I mean, when you have these different elements, these coaches have opportunity to work with our team on these elements to make them better.
Important follow-up question.
Yes.
Do you have a celebrations coach?
Well, I feel like you're nominating yourself.
No. But I know a guy who is versed in libation. Okay. Now I would like to introduce you guys to my co-host Van Nunley, who's sitting right here. Now, Van, let's say the Runners get their first win of the season under Coach Weems this Sunday against the Wichita Wings.
Yeah.
How do you celebrate?
Well, with the changing of the guard in this country, I think obviously the YMCA Invisible Dong Dance.
Yeah,
I think that's a big one.
Let's do that one on a goal. Yeah.
That's a good one.
I like that one a lot.
We'll lead with that, and then the cleanup hitter obviously is the Brandy Chastain slide shirt off.
Yeah, that's a smart one too.
Crowd pleaser wherever you go.
Yeah.
I feel like you've thought about this for a little bit.
No, I'm freestyling. Yeah, just spitballing right here. Yeah, for sure.
Now, I know he's freestyling because I've actually seen him do this combination of dances, but it was the other way around.
Correct.
He did the slide shirt off first
and then
made the YMCA look weird.
Yeah. I gotta change my order around.
Yeah, I gotta have to change the order.
It's different when you do it in that order. Yeah.
Speaking of changing it up, there is a little break in the season after this weekend's game, right? February is it's tough. It's Super Bowl, Royal Rumble, all these things are going on. So the Royal Rumble, right, Andres? That's why. That's okay. So
I love WWE, man. Wait, the question is, are you going to Royal Rumble? Am I going to see you in the post-conference interview?
No, you always see me in the post-conference interview.
I know, I ask you that, and I'll text you. I'll be like, hey, look, hey, Fred.
It's a screenshot. I do radio every day. You don't care. I get on TV for 1 second.
Yep.
Why the change now, right? Like you had a little bit of a break in the season where you could have gone from one leadership to another and maybe made that transition a little more smooth for Coach Weems. Like, why throw him into the fire right now? And, Coach, how do you feel about that?
You want to answer that first?
Yeah, I'll answer that. Yeah. So, the thing is that, based on our season, I always want to hope for the best. I always want to support my coaching staff, my coaches in their programming, right? Because I'm a believer, a coach's coach, owner's own. I'm not Jerry Jones, mind you.
Yeah, smart.
Nor do I ever want to be that way because I don't think you get performance and successes on the field. Yeah. And so, I always am very, very, very supportive of my coaches and what they do. And unfortunately, it just hit a point where it said, okay, guys, we got smacked 18-3 at our last home game against Chihuahua. And it just, things just became unacceptable at that point.
You're being kind right now. That was tough.
That was tough.
Like I was in the booth.
Play-by-play trying to call that. I was, I felt kind of bad for you because I'm like, how do you turn that into a positive, right?
Sure.
And unfortunately, it just didn't go that way. So at the end of the day, it was kind of a situation where it worked itself out and the opportunity presented itself and said, okay, here's the chance. Here's the chance to make a change, and so we move forward with it. And it was fast and furious for Coach Weems. But at the end of the day, I think the fact that he's followed us since the beginning, and to give you a little bit of a heads up on history with Coach Weems is Coach Weems was actually the first person I called when I announced about doing the New Mexico Runners, when I started New Mexico Runners.
New phone, who
and I called Weems because I go back with him, and so he couldn't do it at the time. So, but he's always followed us, what we were doing. So, Sunday night I gave him the call and just kind of chatted it up a little bit. We were discussing what's going on.
You negotiated a contract over the phone?
No, we did that in person. We were able to do that in person. But I consider him a friend, and because of our history together, and he cares truly about what this product is. He cares truly about what our organization's doing in the community. And so, I guess Fast and Furious is the phrase, and I feel like we're seeing some major strides.
Well, I first couldn't do it without the support of my wife. She is my rock, and we talked it over for about a week and came to the conclusion we could do it. It was after my soccer season. The games were on Sundays, a couple on Saturdays. Practices were at 5 o'clock in the morning, so it wouldn't mess with our schedule before work. And she says, you're a program builder. Why don't you try to build this program? So she lit the fire under me, and we said, let's go. One thing about me is that I don't like to lose. I hate losing. I'm a coach who wins. And I pride myself on building programs and winning games. And I believe that we have the organization to do it. We have the players to do it. And I'm just fired up to do it and to try. It's going to be a challenge, 100% challenge. We have a lot of old habits we got to figure out, a lot of old bad habits we got to figure out. But at the same time, I'm up for the challenge, and I think the players are too.
You know how good Andres is at his part of the job, the front office stuff, the ownership stuff, the notwithstanding. But when you look at your new gig, what are some new things you want to implement? What are some changes you want to make off the bat?
Well, first of all, players need to go to practice. So that's the biggest thing.
Big.
I was told that 10 to 15 players, if that, were showing up to practice. We have a squad of 27 players. 25 showed up today. So that's the start. That's a start.
Yeah.
They need to implement a weight training program, a workout program. They need to eat right. They need to understand not just to play scrimmages every day. I'm a huge proponent on doing tactical and technical drills. So there's a lot of things that can make a soccer player, especially being a fit. We did a lot of fitness drills this morning, and we're going to continue doing fitness drills. So those kind of things, plus building the fact that they are part of a professional organization and act like a professional organization. That's the biggest thing. Take pride in your team, take pride in each other, and work your tail off to make a winning product. So if I can sense that into the players, and the players can hopefully get a winning product on the field.
All your assistants are from Rio Grande?
No, I have one assistant from San Diego High School.
Okay.
It was my former assistant when I was at San Diego High School, Ryan Sanchez. But now he's the head coach there.
Sounds like a strong staff to me. I'm excited for it. You can see it in person. You can do that Sunday. That's right, over at the Rio Rancho Event Center. I will be on the broadcast van. We'll be planning a celebration.
Correct. Well, I already got 2 good ones out of the way. What else we need?
More.
Okay.
More celebration. And Brian Weems is going to make his at-home debut with the New Mexico Runners. He's going to wear a suit. What's up?
You know what? We haven't talked about that yet.
I'm asking right now.
Okay, so I gotta tell you a funny story. So I said, okay, here's what I do, like for attire, because he asked me, and I said, well, I mean, I really don't know what soccer coaches wear, but I got polos. And Brian goes, dude, football coaches wear polos.
Soccer coaches do not wear polos.
And I was like, well, then I was misled.
Probably a nice pullover, some nice jeans, and some sambas. There we go.
There you go. That's easy.
Because I warm up with the team. I'm interacting with the team. I'm practicing with the team. So, once it gets down to it, I'll dress a little bit nicer, and then we'll go after it.
I like everything about it. Coach Weems, our friend Andres Trujillo, thank you so very much. If you come down to Rio Bravo Brewery, there is a stack of, there's not a stack, there's like 4. There's 4.
There's 8.
With 2 4-packs,
2 4-packs.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, they're not from us. They're from the New Mexico Runners.
Right.
And you can have them if you come down to Rio Bravo Brewery tonight, because they will be here. And when we get back from the break van, we wrap up the program as UNM Lobo ladies. I don't know the word. Can we still say Lady Lobos with Trump?
I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
the Lady Lobos are going to play basketball tonight. Final words, boys?
Hey, just to support what we got going on, man. I mean, we're all about the community. We're excited for this new chapter, especially with our home debut for Coach Weems on January 26th at the Rio Rancho Event Center. And yeah, come support us. Come support our players. Come support the organization.
I know Andres is tired of losing. I'm tired of losing. It's time to change the boat. Let's get after it.
Like
Love
everything about it.
Go Runners, baby.
Yep.
It's Two Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored.
We only have 3 minutes of radio left because it's Lady Lobos basketball. After
Let's
this,
go.
big thank you to Rio Bravo Brewery who had us out. It is a Taco Tuesday. Van, I never seen anyone drink so many Gulf of American lagers.
Well, I had only one, first off, but thank you for that. And the tacos were fantastic.
Oh,
no inflation whatsoever. They're a reasonable price.
I like that.
I heard the game tonight was 3v3, full court.
You're upsetting me. When I learned that there was women's 3v3 full court basketball, I became very upset that Duke City Championship Wrestling is not on whatever channel that was on. I was very upset that my very entertaining sports adjacent product, Duke City Championship Wrestling, which I own, which you can go see February the 22nd at the historic El Rey Theater,
as one should,
is not on television on TNT, and they're playing women's 3-on-3 full court snoozer basketball.
I just think it's cool that there's sports on the O Network now.
That wasn't the O Network.
It wasn't?
No. TNT.
I think it's really cool that there's sports on Lifetime now. That's
TNT
really cool.
loses Charles Barkley in the NBA, and they say, you know what'll scratch the itch, boys?
Mm-hmm.
Women's 3-on-3 empty arena full court basketball.
Let's put this up against the Natty. That'll do great.
The best part was at the halftime when I was like, Van, it's wild that they let Jiminy Cricket in here to perform at halftime. And you go, no, that's just crickets in the arena.
That's actual crickets.
Yeah. It was like when you watch basketball during COVID and you could hear the shoes squeak on the floor.
Oh, no. She had a wide open three-pointer and she tripped on a tumbleweed.
Tune in after the break when we cut from this broadcast to stock footage of youth baseball players pulling grass in the outfield of Community Field in your hometown.
It literally wouldn't make the Ocho, right? Like, it's just, they wouldn't even consider putting that on the Ocho.
Well, unfortunately for us, we didn't hear the audio on this broadcast because why would we? We were at Howie's sports page.
Mm-hmm.
But can you imagine being the broadcaster with this?
Riveting. Riveting.
I would do it like the whole thing was like exposition for like a build in like a serial killer movie.
I mean, I'm rooting for anything that can heighten women's athletics, give more attention to sport. More young women should be playing athletics.
Yeah.
Get those scholarships in college, ladies.
Now hear me out though. Roller derby. Like, let's do anything else.
Does that not exist?
It wasn't in that time slot.
Can we have both? If you want to watch some ladies play basketball and or just listen to them play basketball, boy, do I have a treat for you because the hyper-talented JJ Buck is up next calling Lady Lobos basketball.
All right, I just looked up the rules to basketball.
Okay. Should we start a league?
I'm just saying, if we had a league. Good program today.
Flew by, a little shorty boy.
Basketball, at least had Bob Costas.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Rio Bravo Brewery, for having us. That was nice. Isaiah Johnson back at the studio.
The Cowboys might hire Brian Schottenheimer, so I'm no longer a Cowboys fan.
Dang.
What is it like when everything that I say comes true? Is that like a weird thing for you? We'll talk about it tomorrow. Big thank you to Steve Palmisano, the Albuquerque Dukes. Big thank you to Andres Trujillo, the New Mexico Runners. Brian Weems of the New Mexico Runners. Van, final words?
Hey, don't move it in. Stay right here and listen to Lady Lobos basketball, and make sure you check out the very same JJ Buck who's calling this game on the opening drive tomorrow with Jeff and JJ.
Good job, everyone. Keep breathing.
See you tomorrow, Burke.